Hey friends, it's Jenna. Welcome back to my channel. I am sitting in my car. If you can't tell, I thought we would just have like a little casual video today, maybe do a little chit chat. I just went through the Starbucks drive-thru and got my afternoon coffee. So I have an iced coffee here. My Starbucks order, in case you're wondering, is typically an iced coffee unsweetened with a splash of heavy cream, or a cold brew with a splash of heavy cream, so I usually get one or the other. I feel like I don't need a ton of caffeine today, so I went with the regular iced coffee, but I pulled into the parking lot, and obviously I'm parked, I'm not driving, and like I said, I just want to have like a chill chit chat kind of thing, because I've been getting asked a few questions a lot recently. There's one in particular I want to talk about today. I figured I would just make its own video and kind of address my reasoning behind it, and the question is, why aren't you selling on eBay anymore? Also, there's cars on either side of me, so if someone comes up and is staring at me while I'm filming, we'll see what happens. But anyways, to get into the topic, why I don't sell on eBay anymore, I want to talk a little bit about my history with eBay and just kind of how I got started. And honestly, it all starts with Poshmark, because I started my whole reselling career journey on Poshmark. I wasn't on eBay at the time. I did Poshmark part-time and then full-time for about, I don't know, it's probably like 8 or 9 months before I decided to start selling on eBay as well. And the reason that I started out on eBay was actually because Poshmark didn't allow men's at the time. You couldn't sell any kind of clothing besides women's clothing in the beginning. Obviously, they have since changed that and expanded, but you couldn't sell men's clothing, and I was finding a lot of men's clothing when I was outsourcing, and I wanted to sell it. Stuff that I thought I could make good money on. And then also, obviously eBay has an international customer base as well, so I thought maybe I could get my items in front of some more potential buyers. And yeah, I decided to start listing on eBay in the summer of, I believe it was 2016. And so I started basically just listing some of my items over on eBay. There were some items that I wouldn't list on Poshmark that I would list on eBay, but I would say a good chunk of my items were listed on both platforms. And I started out very, very small. When I first started out, I don't know, I didn't have very many listings at all. I had like the basic store, and then I started listing more and more. I started to cross list every single thing I was listing on Poshmark onto eBay, and I was having decent sales. I wasn't putting a lot of time into it because, I don't know, I just still didn't really understand what eBay was. I was listing everything on the mobile app, and it was a little bit slow. It wasn't as user-friendly as the Poshmark app, but yeah, I really started to begin my journey with eBay in, what did I say, summer of 2016, and then I just kept selling on there for the next couple years. Fast forward to summer of 2018. So this past summer, I actually went to the eBay Open conference that was in Las Vegas, and I was still selling on eBay quite a bit. I mean, I've sold thousands of items on eBay, so don't get me wrong, like, I think it's an amazing platform and all of that, but yeah, I decided to go to eBay Open, and I actually had a really good time there. I think it was really eye-opening. It kind of opened my eyes to see what the potential was with eBay, but I also realized that fashion wasn't necessarily a focus for eBay. I saw them really expanding and putting their time and technology into other parts, other items or categories or products and things that were different than clothing, which I think when a lot of people think of eBay, they don't necessarily think of clothing, or, you know, they're starting to think of it as just like, you know, garage sale type of clothing, maybe not fashion focused, in my opinion. So I had a good time at eBay Open. I did learn some stuff, but when I left eBay Open, I just wanted to really think about what I was doing with my whole Poshmark and eBay business. So I took some time after I got home to really digest and again, just reevaluate my business and see what was gonna be best for me moving forward. Now, throughout 2018, I also had started my YouTube channel, and I was making videos about Poshmark and eBay, still pretty Poshmark focused, but I did mention eBay, and I would do, you know, some things on what I would list on Poshmark versus what I would list on eBay. And I don't know, once I started evaluating what I was doing with my business, for me, I just realized how much I'm really passionate about the Poshmark community and my Poshmark closet, the type of items I'm selling on there, my customers. I have a really great loyal customer base. And then also I was thinking about the content I was producing, and I wasn't really excited about producing eBay content. I was really excited and had all these ideas for Poshmark focused YouTube content and things that I wanted to create. And I was starting to get questions about eBay, and honestly, like, I never did a ton of research on eBay, so I didn't know exactly how to answer them or direct people because I still didn't have a lot of experience. I had a couple years experience, you know, I sold thousands of items, but for me, like, I just look at, there's so many powerful eBay sellers out there that have been on the app for so long, and I didn't feel like I was the best person to guide people with eBay guidance. So basically, after eBay opened and after reevaluating my business, I decided to stop selling on eBay. Now, it wasn't one specific thing that said, oh my gosh, I'm not going to sell on eBay anymore. This is a terrible platform. You know, it's dead. No fashion can be sold on here. It's nothing like that. It's honestly like no drama. Here is my reasoning behind not wanting to sell on eBay anymore. Like I mentioned before, I've been on Poshmark since the beginning. So I had been on Poshmark longer, and I've always sold pretty similar items, sourced to similar type of inventory. And when I started selling on eBay, I started just buying like random stuff that I thought might do good on eBay, but I was listing items on both. And I really wanted to get back to my roots and having a, you know, focused brand and sell a very streamlined type of product in my store, or, you know, type of offering, have a brand. And basically my brand, if you're not familiar with the type of stuff I buy, is casual, cool, bohemian, hippie, rock and roll, a little bit of everything, but it's like really casual boho. And I like to buy stuff that fits in that brand or that category for me. And like I said, I've established a pretty good clientele, and I'm really building a name for myself on Poshmark. I hope that's what I'm really working towards. And I feel like by also, you know, listing that stuff over on eBay, I was just kind of confusing myself, my buyers, and having it be all over the place. I wanted to have pretty much a destination for my customers to go to. Also, like I mentioned, I was really excited about creating, and I am really excited about creating Poshmark focused YouTube content, and that's what I really wanted to do. That's how I kind of wanted to niche my channel, along with some other lifestyle stuff that goes along with it. But most of my reselling stuff, I wanted to do pretty much Poshmark specific stuff. So I felt like, as someone that's creating this content for Poshmark, or it's not for Poshmark, but basically, you know, to help people with Poshmark, I felt like it would just be a little confusing to also be selling on eBay. I didn't think that would really go along with it. I wanted to really put all of my eggs into one basket, which I don't know if is the best thing with business, but yeah, put all my eggs in one basket. And then that way, when I'm creating this content, I can be driving people towards my Poshmark, not only to shop, but also to show that I can prove what I'm talking about. You know, I'm selling on this platform. These are the type of things that I'm buying. This is what I'm selling. Just give a little bit more real life experience versus kind of spreading it out everywhere. Also, just having sold on eBay for a little bit, I didn't love the way the app was set up. I talked about that a little before. I don't think it's that user-friendly, and I think Poshmark is so user-friendly, so easy to list on. I just like how streamlined it is, and I've gotten so used to it that for me, listing's a lot faster on Poshmark, and I was spending a lot of time trying to cross-list. So for me, time was another huge factor. You know, I'm spending all this time creating content and making social media a really big part of my business, but also listing obviously is still important. And for me, it's just faster and easier to list on Poshmark as well. So that's another reason that I decided I just wanted to be on Poshmark. I didn't want to be on eBay. Now, those are like the main reasons. So for me, it was time. It was also the type of content that I'm producing, and, you know, wanted to have a place to send my people and, you know, have experience in. And then also, it's just like where I built my whole business. It's where I started. It's where I've, you know, built a, you know, customer base. I really connected with a lot of people through the app. I really love the Poshmark community, all my PFFs that I've met through the app, and, you know, Poshmark employees and just that community is really supportive. Every time I've been to PoshFest, it's just such a crazy, kind of life-changing experience. But there's no real tea, as people like to say. I don't think eBay is a sinking ship at all. I know there's tons of people who are all super successful on there, and they're selling clothing, they're selling used clothing. Again, they probably have a repeat business on there, just like I've built up a repeat business on Poshmark. It's just, for me, my heart lies within Poshmark. Now, I think another thing, if I had maybe help, if I had employees, or I don't know, this could be like down the road in the future, if I had help, you know, cross-listing, things like that, maybe I would potentially do eBay again in the future for clothing, but I don't see it anytime in the foreseeable future. And also, you know, I mentioned before how eBay was international. I know Poshmark will eventually be international. They're working on it, so I know we'll get there. You know, I just think for now, since I've really built my whole business on Posh, that's where I'm going to stay, and I've just kind of let eBay slowly trickle out. I think I still have like a couple listings on there, stuff that's not listed on Poshmark, but pretty soon I probably won't have any unless I decide to list any like hard goods. I've been cleaning out my house, doing some hardcore deep cleaning, if everyone's watched that, like Marie Kondo tidying up. There's stuff that I can't sell on Poshmark, you know, hard goods basically, that I wouldn't be able to list on Poshmark that I might sell over on eBay, but I'm not going out there and specifically sourcing for items to list on eBay. I am just selling on Poshmark, and that's kind of my whole reasoning behind it. I hope that makes sense. I feel like I might have just been kind of rambling on, but for me, it's easier to focus on one platform, put my all into it, have my content go along with that specific platform, and Poshmark just has my heart. It's where I started. It's how this whole thing began, and I just really see it growing and expanding. I've seen that every year since I've started, and the time that I was on both Poshmark and eBay, it was a little bit more stagnant for me because I was really splitting my time. And for me, I think it's better to just put everything in that one platform, and yeah, we're gonna see where it goes from here. But don't take this as eBay is, you know, not a good place to sell. I don't want you to think that at all. Like I said, plenty of people successful on there. I have really good friends that still sell on eBay, obviously, and they make a good amount of money. I just think for me personally, it's not best to list on both platforms. Just for my situation, what's going on now, who knows, a year from now I could be making a different video, but that is kind of the reasoning behind everything, and I hope you guys understand and enjoy hearing a little bit more about this. If you did like hearing about why I don't sell on eBay anymore, give this video a thumbs up. Let me know down in the comments below if you are selling on eBay, if you're just selling on Poshmark. I'm always curious to see what other people do, and if you sell on even more platforms than that, like, more power to you, because that is a lot of work. Every platform has its own like nuances, and to have to deal with all of those going on at one time is just a lot of work. So I really give props to all of you that are doing that. Now, with all of that being said, you know, my Poshmark content, I have a ton coming out. I am currently posting a video every single day in January, so if you're not subscribed to my channel already, go ahead and hit the subscribe button down below, and I'll see you soon in my next video. Bye.